North of 10 years after the occasions of the principal film, the film starts with Jake Tarnish portraying his humble and tranquil life as head of the Omadikeya faction and raising a family with his significant other Neytiri, which incorporates his children Nedium and Loeke and his girl Tuck, his embraced little girl Kiri, brought into the world from elegant Augustine's lethargic Gnostic symbol, and a human kid named Bug, the child of Miles Quaritch, who was brought into the world on Pandora yet couldn't be moved to Earth in cryostasis. While Jake can acknowledge Insect as an embraced child, Neytiri is incredulous of him given his human starting points. Be that as it may, every one of the youngsters blend and mingle well with one another including Bug, whom Kiri is friendly with despite the fact that he is a human. Bug doesn't embrace his human legacy and feels more lean to Gnostic's culture and customs. They carry on with a typical existence until one day they notice an unusual star in the night sky. Once more, much sadly, they understand it's a RDA space transport with people getting back to Pandora to colonize it, raising another vitally working base. Among the fresh debuts in the boat is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Gnostic's body and with his recollections transferred from before his demise. Accordingly, Quaritch can't recall his destruction because of Jake, however, is simply ready to remember the occasions before and his wrathful mission to dispense with Jake. To keep the RDA from taking advantage of Pandora once more, Jake drives an essential guerrilla activity against the RDA supply lines, debilitating them. In one of the activities, Loeke, who ignores Nedium and anxious to show what him can do, attempts to help Jake in fight, however gets injured. Jake saves and teaches him to not jeopardize his own well-being by being careless. That evening, while at the same time watching out for his injuries, Neytiri tranquilly reminds Jake to be not excessively unforgiving with Loeke, to which Jake communicates his anxiety as a dad for the well-being of his kids. In the interim, the counter follow-up on the RDA supply lines doesn't agree with Quaritch, who starts a hunt mission to kill Jake. During a perky endeavor, Jake's kids alongside Bug investigate further into the rainforest. Unbeknownst to them, Quaritch and his group are at a similar area investigating the site where Quaritch will see his human remaining parts. A perceptive Loeke sees their presence and rapidly illuminates his dad Jake, who is made aware of the circumstance. Be that as it may, an engagement happens and Quaritch's crew catches Jake's kids. Jake and Neytiri show up in time and free the greater part of them, yet Bug is taken by Quaritch, who remembers him as his child. On board the boat, the RDA attempts to coercively extricate data about Jake from Insect, who will not give. Evolving procedure, Quaritch tends to Bug as his child and furthermore, to make sense of more about the Navi in return for his opportunity on his side. Despite the fact that unagreeable and ignorant about Quaritch's genuine mission, Insect shows Quaritch Gnostic's culture. Quaritch is likewise effectively ready to tame an Ikran flying animal as his vehicle. Realizing the peril, Insect's information on his whereabouts postures to their well-being and furthermore, to keep away from another calamity, Jake persuades a hesitant Neytiri and his family to oust themselves from the Omadikeya faction and retreat toward the eastern seaboard of Metkayina, a coral reef island whose group and way of life is adjusted to Pandora's oceanic natural surroundings. Jake gives his main mantle to his replacement and passes on altogether to Metkayina. Once showed up, they are welcomed by the group boss Tanawari and his better half Ronald, who is dubious of them at first. Be that as it may, Jake makes sense of their circumstance and they are consented to remain and given cover. Despite the fact that a few tribesmen scorn Jake and his kids for their hereditary human legacy, the family learns the methods of the reef individuals, gaining the appreciation of them. Kiri is captivated with the oceanic existence of Metkayina and fosters an otherworldly bond with the ocean and its animals, while Loeke gets to know Syria, the girl of tribe boss Tanawari and his better half Ronald. While adjusting to their new climate, Loeke gets into a battle with Syria's sibling Aonung when he pokes an unrefined fun at Kiri and him of their blended human genealogy. Jake rebukes his child for his way of behaving. At Jake's demand, Loike gets back to apologize to Aonung and his companions. In any case, they captivate him to an excursion into the region of a hazardous ocean hunter and leave him abandoned as a vengeance. The ocean hunter attempts to go after Loike. Notwithstanding, Loike is saved by and gets to know Payakan, a tulkun, a wise and pacifistic cetacean species whom the Metkayina think about their profound family. Upon his revisitation of Metkayina, Boss Tanawari, who became mindful of Aonung's activities on Loike, requests that the previous apologize to Loike. In any case, Loike assumes the fault on himself, winning Aonung's kinship. He is additionally informed that Payakan is an untouchable among his species. In the meantime, out traveling to a branch off of the Tree of Spirits, Kiri joins with it to meet her mom, yet experiences a rough seizure. She is mended by Ronald, yet when Jake calls Norm Spellman and Max Patel for help, Quaritch can follow them to the archipelago where the reef individuals reside. Carrying Bug with him, he lays hold of a whaling vessel which is hunting tulkuns to reap their mind proteins for making hostile to maturing cures. Quaritch starts to ruthlessly scrutinize the native clans about Jake's area, bombing that. He arranges the whaling group to wantonly kill the tulkuns to draw Jake out. Loike intellectually interfaces with Payakan and discovers that the tulkun was projected out on the grounds that he conflicted with the methods of his species and went after the whalers who killed his mom. At the point when the Metkayina learn of the tulkun butchers, Loike takes off to caution Payakan, trailed by his kin, Syria and Aonung. They find Payakan being pursued by the whalers, and Loike, Kiri, and Tuck are caught by Quaritch. With their youngsters at serious risk, Jake, Neytiri, and the Metkayina set off on a mission to face the people. Quaritch powers Jake to give up, however, seeing his spirit sibling endangered, Payakan assaults the whalers, setting off a battle which kills the majority of the group and basically harms the vessel, making it sink. Needium salvages Loike and Insect, yet is lethally shot. Jake faces Quaritch, who involves Kiri as a prisoner. At the point when Neytiri does likewise with Insect, Quaritch at first denies his child, yet stops when Neytiri cuts Bug on the chest. Jake, Quaritch, Neytiri, and Tuck end up caught inside the sinking vessel. Jake chokes Quaritch into obviousness and is protected by Loike and Payakan, and Kiri calls ocean animals to help her save Neytiri and Tuck. Bug finds and safeguards Quaritch, yet passes on him because of his savagery towards the Nausicaa and putting his objective to kill Jake's family over being his dad and turning into a decent man, driving him back to rejoin Jake's loved ones. After Needium's burial service, Jake and his family choose to for all time stay with the Metkayina.